Hi, I'm Kelly,
And I'm Kristen.
and this is Twins with Wheels. So, on this show,
We're going to talk about on this show, how do you total a car in 19 days?
19-day-old car.
I'm going to show you how.
Oh, yeah. So, here we are. Quarantine day, whatever it is.
7 months.
Yeah. It's not even days anymore. It's months. Better not be years soon. So we figured we would talk to you about Kristen, who this is the van that she just got. Don't all get nervous. That's fine. This was a van that we were getting.
Right. In 2008, I had gotten my last van.
Yes.
And of course, I'd spent probably just about as much time. I think it was like a year and a half.
It was ridiculous.
In order to get this van. And I had it for 19 days.
19.
And I was in an accident, not my fault. And it was basically totaled. So we're going to show you right now a little video of exactly where I had my accident, and then we'll come back. Okay, so here we are on the road where I had my accident. So I was actually driving in the second lane over. But because I don't like people driving the first, they drive too slow. So I was in the second lane, and there was a car that came up in the third lane next to me. All I know is that it was a white car. And just as we go around this corner, actually start slowing down because it's coming up right after the bridge. Yeah, right here. Some car swiped in front of me. I turned. Luckily, there was no car in the first lane. I turned. I lost control, and I slammed into the rock wall here. I went down. It was I think maybe even a little further up, down the embankment a little bit, and then right into the wall, head on.
Okay. So, ready?
Yeah. So that was exactly where I had my accident that I
It's very, very nice.
still remember to this day. So after I hit the wall, the airbag did come out, and that's actually what I remembered. The first thing I remember was saying, "Wow, that airbag really hurt." And I just was kind of sitting there. Luckily, there was an off-duty medic.
Oh, nice.
That was driving behind me. So he stopped, and he's talking to me outside the car, and I could hear him very well. And I realized then, because the back window had been blown out of my car, which it was good in a way, because I think that's how he got into the car to help me.
Oh, my God.
So, and then I think there was another person that stopped here. So they called 911. They got there. Now I'm in my chair in the lockdown.
Which, I think you're alive today because that was a very well
Made van.
If
If I had been in my other van, I would not be here.
Yeah.
My chair bent a little bit, but it didn't move. The lockdown stayed.
It held it. You did not go anywhere.
My legs went flying. My shoes came flying off. I don't even know where my shoes went. And I ended up. So the fire department came, but unfortunately we couldn't get the chair out because the engine has now fallen down. I guess that's a safety thing. The engine falls.
Yeah, it drops out of the car.
So obviously there's nothing working. So they can't get me out of the lockdown. So they kind of have to pull me out.
How do they do that?
That way. But first they had to stabilize my right leg because I had broken my fibia and tibia on my right leg. So basically my leg was like hanging there. And I broke my ankle on the left side. So they put the bubble cast on.
So they knew it was broken?
I knew it was broken.
Okay.
So they put the bubble cast on, and then they kind of pulled me out. A little painful, I will say. And they
did get me. I had an opportunity to look at the van as I was being taken away, and I didn't look because I didn't want to know how bad it was. I still have no idea what it looked like. I never saw it. It's bad. So I just let that go. But I'd only had it 19 days. I still had a paper license plate on it. And the police officer kind of came up to me. He's like, "Where's your license plate?" I said, "Well, the car's 19 days old. I'm suspecting that the paper license plate is flying down Route 6 right now." So you go try to find it. So I ended up in the hospital for 3 days, I think. They were afraid of like a blood clot and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I ended up coming home and I was in bed for 2 months.
Well, let's talk about first when you were at the emergency room.
Oh, right. So I wasn't happy.
Well, yeah, you weren't happy. Now I get a call from a nurse in the ICU at the emergency room trauma center.
Right, there's either the regular emergency room and then there's the trauma center.
And she was specifically telling me for trauma center. And I'm like, what does that mean? She's like, no, she's fine, but she was in an accident, and so somebody needs to come down. I'm like, of course, so I'm going to have to go down there.
Don't say it like that. You were really nervous.
I was really nervous. And as I'm leaving, I'm thinking, oh my God, that car is only 19 days old.
Well, don't you think I was saying that too?
Yeah.
I told everybody that day. I told the ambulance driver. I told the police officer. I told the doctors. I told the nurses. I told everybody. That car's only 19 days old.
So I got there, and thankfully I had my own car at that point. Yep. So I got there. I don't know where Mom was. She wasn't home. So I got there, and you could tell she was in pain. She had 2 broken legs. And she kept asking about the car, and I'm like, I didn't really know at that point what the car was like.
Yeah.
And they were worried about what they were going to do, if they were going to do surgery on you. Yeah, they were calling our doctor. It was getting to be crazy. And she didn't want to stay in the hospital, and we wanted her to.
And this shows actually we have an awesome doctor.
Yeah.
Our doctor. She actually apparently was yelling at the doctor in the emergency room saying that there was no way that they could try to send me home. Because they actually were thinking about it too. And I was like, yeah, let's go. I'm ready.
Yeah, she was all for it. I'm like, no. And one of the nurses says, are you comfortable with her going home? I'm like, no, we are not. Not at all. And then she ended up being there 3 days.
Yeah, so apparently I needed to be there.
Ridiculous. So we did have to get your chair, because your chair is still now
still in the car, attached to the car,
and the van was towed.
Yep.
So I called my husband, and I'm like, you got to go pay
for the tow
in cash. It was very important. It had to be in cash. So I told him, you got to stop, get cash, and you got to go pay them, and then they'll keep the car, and we'll figure out where we're gonna take it to. So he goes, and he had quite a story just going to pick the car up.
So they pulled me in now, plus the dog, to tell my side of the story for when.
The dog wasn't even alive.
Yeah. So when we got the call, Kelly went to the hospital, and
we had kids at home. We couldn't,
Oh, yeah, I think we dropped them off. I don't know.
Yeah, you had to take them somewhere.
Or the neighbors took them. I don't even remember. But basically, what happened was I had to go pick up Kristen's chair from where they towed the car to. Now, in order to get in, I had to pay the guy.
You had to pay him.
It was $100, I think, wasn't it?
It was like $75 because I had to get change too, but it had to be in cash. So, and it was in the sketchiest part of town I'd ever been to. So the guy pulled up, and I'm waiting for the guy to show up in this sketchy part of town. This woman comes shambling over to my van and starts knocking on the window. So I cracked the window down a little bit, and I'm like, yes. She's like, I think I sprained my ankle. I need you to take me to the hospital. And I'm like, lady, I've got too many things going on here. I cannot be helping you. So she was not happy with me. But I rolled my window back up, and she shambled away. The guy finally showed up, and I went in the back, had to get Kristen's chair out.
How did you get it out? Was it?
I was able to get the door open, and I put the ramp out manually.
Yeah.
And then because I did the manual unlock.
Oh, that's right. You should have told them to do that. Oh yeah, I could.
Yeah. Really? Well, it was, and plus they probably couldn't get at it. But anyway, so I got that, and then because her shoes flew off, I got that. I had to go find her phone, and when I got out and I looked at the front of it, and the front was completely destroyed. Like just there was it was I knew there wasn't recovering that from that. So
no coming back after that.
No coming back. So then I'm going to leave, and I asked the guy for directions to the hospital.
How would you not know? We've lived in Rhode Island our whole lives.
Where I was?
Yeah.
You've never been there.
I've never been there, and I was just looking for the fastest way.
Okay.
So I knew, like, I could, because we had gone off the highway, and I was in, like, a bad part of town. But the guy says, all right, well, you're going to go down this road, you're going to hit a stoplight. When you get to that stoplight, make sure your doors are locked, and don't get out of your car, because it's a really bad part of town. And I'm like, dude, this is a bad part of town. Where are you sending me? So I finally get through there, get through the ghetto, and get to the hospital. And I go in, and when I got in there and got to the back to see everybody there, the blanket was pulled back, and I could see like this white thing on Kristen's foot, and I'm like, I think I see her bone. And she's like, you're an idiot. That's a leg brace. So then we were talking about it. So we were kind of just sitting there, and then Kristen asked about her car, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's totaled. I'm like, the whole thing's destroyed. And she started to cry, and then Kelly was yelling at me, like, why would you tell her that? And I got sent away after that. He said, thank you for your help. Go wait in the waiting room. So,
well, we did appreciate you going to get everything in the bad part.
Yeah, risking my life.
Yeah. I know that lady really could have hurt you.
Oh, yeah, she was scary. So that's my side of the story.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
So I did stay in the hospital for 3 or 4 days. I came home, but I ended up having to be in bed for a couple of months because I couldn't move either one of my legs, basically.
Yeah. We were eating dinner on TV trays in her bedroom.
Yeah, it was not sweet.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, so I was out of work for 2 months. It was just over 2 months, and I was finally able to. They put a cast on it, like an actual cast, and then I was better after that. But I didn't. So this happened in March. I wasn't fully recovered until October. That's when I got the brace off. Because after the cast, I had a brace. So it was quite a recovery time.
Yeah. Very long process.
Yes.
And you had to get another car.
Oh God, yeah. And all I'm thinking is, I just spent 1.5 years to get this one, and I had it 19 days, and now I got to start the whole process over again. Only now I have to deal with insurance because it was covered, and I think it took about another year.
Yep.
To get my second one. But I have to say, the first one I had, I don't know, I didn't feel comfortable in it. There was something about that van. I'm telling you.
Okay.
Because once I started driving the newer one I got after that, it was better. So I don't know why, but I don't think I was supposed to have that car.
I've got a question.
Lord.
So, having, both of you having broken your legs, what do you think it's like for people that don't have the medical equipment at home when they break both their legs?
Oh, I'm sure it's hard.
I don't know how people do it.
Yeah, I really don't. I mean, usually it was a process for me to
even just take a shower.
Yeah, it was such a process for me to take a shower, and I had all this, I had a lot of stuff there.
And we have a roll-in shower, like it's just an easy shower to get into.
Right.
Can't imagine someone trying to get into a tub with broken leg.
No.
When I had my broken leg, I had to put a big Michael to cover me in trash bags. It was like a half-hour process just for me to get in the shower.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I had trash bags. Yeah.
But we can sit down. We don't stand.
Right.
So,
and I think it's funny too because you and I actually didn't notice it as much because it was my leg that was broken. I had broken my wrist the year before, and that I noticed a lot more because I do everything with both my arms.
Right.
So I noticed that. So if I had the choice, I'd rather break my leg than my arm, but my leg's a little more painful.
Yeah.
But
I did my shoulder once. That was fun.
Oh yeah. This isn't about you. This show's about me
sorry.
today.
Yes, sorry. Tell me it's about you. So, that's our 19-day car story.
Yeah, that's my car for 19. This one, though, is going to be fine. No worries.
No worries. Yeah, please. Good God.
No.
So, we'll be showing you that hopefully very soon.
Yeah, I think maybe this week I'm going to end up getting it finally.
Yay. So, keep watching. All right, so that'll do it for us today.
It's a short one.
Yeah. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. That's it. That's all I have today.
Oh, okay.
Thanks for watching. Bye.